cold it is, you can get warm. Obviously you can put clothes on, and in this room, in the middle of winter, South Island of New Zealand, sometimes it's -5 in here. So jacket on, gloves on, punch the bag, get warm. Now there's a whole heap of amazing things that happen. First of all, if you're cold, you get warm. Second, if you ever come into an exercise session feeling grumpy, feeling depressed, feeling angry, no energy, any of the horrible feelings that humans get because your body's not working effectively, your brain changes your body very quickly if you put your body under pressure. They work together, isn't that awesome? Body, brain, brain, body. So if you get puffed, everything changes inside your brain. So if you fight and fly, and that's why fighting for me is so important, punching and kicking the bag, yes, I get warm and yes, I get puffed. But there's something very special, something mentally healthy about fighting and overcoming a threat. Your brain says, congratulations. First of all, let's fill you up with epinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol so that you can fight the threat. Then, because you overcame the threat, it's very easy to overcome a bag with some gloves on. You punch as hard as you can. Your brain doesn't know the difference. My brain doesn't know that I didn't just kill a wild animal or I didn't kill a big wild tribe. All my brain knows is that I put myself under pressure. Everything in my body had to work really hard, 100% effort, just 10 seconds. It's never longer than that, just 10 seconds. And now I've got dopamine, which is a reward neurotransmitter. I feel rewarded that I overcame the threat, yay. Serotonin, which is an antidepressant drug. Most people take antidepressants so that their serotonin levels can even out. Now, there's a lot of argument about whether or not an antidepressant actually does that. But exercise does do that. Satisfaction that you're still alive, serotonin, neurotransmitter. So you feel rewarded and you feel satisfied. But you also need to be better for next time. My dogs are excited because they love exercise too. When they watch me exercise, they get excited. If I say, let's run, they go and they get excited. Wouldn't it be awesome if humans were the same? But dogs' instinct understands fight and flight. If they feel like they're under threat, they run or they bark or they attack. That's how they react to a threat. Humans are very, very similar. But the beautiful thing is that after I've overcome the threat, my brain is now a happy brain. So yes, first thing in the morning, freezing cold, late at night, freezing cold. If I come in here and punch the bag, I get warm and I feel energetic. But my brain's now working better. So I use this beautiful area. If I have to make a tough phone call, if I have a lot of work to do, if I've got to do some critical thinking, if I've got to overcome challenges, I come and punch the bag as hard as I can, kick the bag as hard as I can, just 10 seconds, so that my brain works better. And the big one for that is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which is fertilizer for your brain. Now, I haven't been inside a human brain, and I don't know what that stuff looks like. But what I do know is if you put your body under pressure, you get fitter and you get stronger and you get wiser and you get better. That's because when you put your body under threat, there's a message sent from your muscles back to the brain, myokine system in the endocrine hormonal system, that says, we've got to be better for next time. What if the threat's bigger? What if the challenge is harder to overcome? What if the animal is more wild or more ferocious? We've got to be better. So every time you put your body under 100% pressure, under a challenge, it has to get better for next time. So there's a whole heap of beautiful things that happen in 10 seconds. But most of all in winter, this is awesome because you get warm. Now, a lot of people put on extra weight in winter. They carry this extra doona around and they have a jacket like this that they can hide underneath. But I'm exactly the opposite. This is just a personal side note. I have to be very careful in winter that I eat enough food because every time I'm cold, I will sprint on the spot, do jump squats, run up and down some stairs, run through some soft sand, run up and down a hill. I do everything I possibly can when I'm cold to get warm that isn't putting on a jacket unless it's -5, and I still exercise with my jacket on. I've been out running before with gloves, hat, warm jacket, thermals, thermal tights, thermal socks, and I've still gone running as fast as I possibly can, still come back. Well, you never come back cold. What you come back as is energized and excited about life because you've overcome a threat. And I'm sharing that with you because I live in the South Island of New Zealand. Most people in winter get sick, they get a flu, they get a cold, they don't feel good because they don't get out in the fresh air and sunshine. That could be something to consider. But most people don't do very much in winter either. It's too cold, it's too windy, it's too snowy, it's too frosty, I don't feel like it. Well, there's a beautiful thing about high intense activity. You don't feel like it and then go do it, because you never feel like working at 100% effort, especially if you feel lazy and tired. But 100% effort's only 10 seconds. And that's an easy brain set or mindset to overcome. Your brain, oh, I don't feel like it, but it's only 10 seconds, is much easier than I've got to go for an hour or 45 minutes or run, plod, jog for 30 minutes. Much, much easier to psych yourself up for 10 seconds. But don't psych, just put your gear on, whatever it is. And I just put some gloves on and punch the bag when it's freezing cold in here. And 10 seconds changes your brain, warms you up. And I have to be careful, as I shared, because I often lose weight. I lose body fat and I get real thin in the face in winter because I'm constantly putting my body under pressure to stay warm. I'm sharing all of that with you because I'm sick and tired of hearing about people who are sick and tired. Because my question is, if you're sick and you're tired and you don't feel like doing anything and you feel depressed and you feel unhappy, what do you do to change that? And most people race off to the doctor. They get onto some kind of medication, they feel sorry for themselves, they feel depressed, and they spend a lot of time not being very happy. The reverse of that, and it's always my question, when was the last time you were out in the fresh air and sunshine? Do you have a very fit, very strong body? Because a very fit, very strong body has an immune system that's strong, because strong muscles and bones, strong muscles pull on your bones, your immune system's built inside your bones. So you are less likely to get sick, and if you do get sick, you recover quicker. If you get injured and you've got a healthy, fit, strong body, you recover quicker because all the systems in your body work more effectively. Please don't underestimate the power of fresh air and sunshine. There are so many people who spend so much time inside and then wonder why they feel so terrible and so lazy and so, I don't feel like it. But you spend a day outside in the fresh air and sunshine doing stuff, and it's a whole different day. So here's my very personal question. How do you want to feel on a regular basis? If you want to feel fat, sick, or be fat, sick, weak and diseased, if you want to feel tired, lethargic, can't be bothered, depressed, angry, upset, then don't do anything. Stay inside. Don't get any fresh air and sunshine. Be dehydrated. Don't move your body. Let your muscles and bones waste away. Eat crappy food, and then don't complain that you feel bad. I know that sounds very harsh, but I'm sick of hearing about people who are sick all the time, but that's how they live their life. I'm one of those people that very, very rarely get sick, and if I've ever been sick, I get better real quick because I'm really fit and I'm really strong. I get fresh air and sunshine every day. I eat for passion, I eat for pleasure, and I eat for performance. I put stuff into my body that's going to make my body work well. Now, you can live your life however you want to, but is it possible that we have to accept the consequences of our actions? There's a great quote, well, here's the consequences of my actions showing up. If you eat crappy food, if you don't look after your body, if your muscles are weak and frail, you will not feel good. The reverse, even if your life is terrible and you don't have any money, you've got a terrible job and your relationship's awful and everything's going really badly, if you go and punch the bag, sprint up some stairs, run through some soft sand, lift something heavy, you will feel better. Your brain now has the capability of helping you overcome those horrible challenges because you filled your brain up with brain-derived neurotropic factor, fertilizer for your brain. So like me, because this is my office, this is my training area and my office. If I've got something tough to do, I always go and punch the bag, kick the bag, sprint on the spot, do something really, or lift something really heavy, do something really hard just for 10 seconds. It's only 10 seconds. You don't have to psych yourself up for a long time. Just don't even psych, just get and do. Punch the bag as hard as you can. Your brain chemistry changes. You've got a brain that's going to work better. And like me, you better watch out because you might have to eat more food because your body burns too much fat because you've changed your body into a fat burning machine because you're so fit. Wouldn't that be awesome? Live your life to the max as a healthy, fit, strong person. Do some fighting and flighting. Woohoo!